Hello, YouTube family.
Hello.
Say welcome back, honey.
Welcome back, or welcome to
There you go.
Wheel Living.
Wheel Living. We recently, as you saw in one of the video we recently done, that we bought a new truck. It's actually an old truck, but it's still a good one, and it's exactly like our first truck. It's a Peterbilt 579. This is a 23 model. Our first one was a 25, but they're virtually identical. But we got to thinking, we've never given you a tour of the inside of the truck, so we thought we'd like to do that. And in a small space, it's actually the biggest sleeper there is in the industry without having one of those custom-made super sleepers. But there is stuff crammed everywhere because we bring out a lot of provisions. We don't like to eat, well, we like to eat out, but we don't want to afford to eat out all the time.
Yes.
Because it's extremely expensive, especially at truck stops, and it's not real nutritious all the time. We eat out maybe once or twice a week. The rest of the time we cook our meals right here in the truck, and that's where Sheila comes in completely. She does all the cooking. Occasionally I'll make a cup of coffee, and that's about it. The whole weight of it is on her, and she does a phenomenal job making much with little. But anyway, I wanted to give you a tour of our new truck and see what you think.
Yeah.
So here we go. The very first piece of equipment I want to show you is Ralph. We couldn't do anything without Ralph. Right now she's completely ignoring us because, you know, she's a cat, and, well, that's what they do. I'll show you my work area. Lots of equipment here. This is the Geotab, is how I track my hours of service so I don't violate DOT regulations, don't work too long. Anyway, turn that off. These are the air brakes, operates the tractor and the trailer, all kinds of controls, radio, climate control. And the dashboard's really cool because if you'll notice, there's no gauges anywhere in this truck. It's all electronic, or in aviation they call this a glass cockpit or a glass dashboard. All the gauges come up here. In fact, I'll show those to you. Got to turn it on. This thing that's beeping now is an instrument that tells me how much air pressure I have in the 10 tires on the tractor, and sometimes they don't send a proper signal and it beeps on me. But I check that every day to make sure my tires are up on the tractor, and the trailer has its own low tire warning system, which is outside. I see a light that I can see in through the mirror, and that keeps me on track with tire pressure. This gauge tells me how much weight is on the drive axles of the tractor. As you can see right now, it's got about just under 32,000 pounds on the drive axles, which is good. Anything under 34,000 pounds. The trailer has that weight limit. That whole system is called the right way system, and the gauge for the trailer is on the trailer back near the axles. This is the instrument cluster that I was talking about. All the gauges are electronic, and that comes alive when you turn the ignition on. And this is the multifunction radio, clock, whatever. This is tied in with that, and I normally we listen to the radio sometimes, but I normally just leave the clock on. So that's it. And then multifunction steering wheel, cruise control, radio, and phone. This is my gear selector. Yes, it's an automatic. It does not have a big gear shift in the middle like the old trucks. And then, just like a car, my multifunction lever, that's blinkers, high beams, wipers, everything. We also have, for privacy, these curtains that go all the way across the front of the truck at night so we can have some privacy. And, oh yeah, air horn. I won't grace you with that sound because it'll freak out the guy next to us. And then an ordinary city horn, just like any other car. So, and these black panels here, we actually have, those are the eyes we showed you in that video. The eyes have it. This is what I see of those eyes. We also have a small GPS we use on shorter runs. This is our primary GPS that gets us to our destinations wherever we're going long distance. That is the lane departure warning cameras, and this is the outward facing and inward facing camera that keeps me on my toes. That little sticker there and those are transponders that pays our tolls for us when we go through on down tollways, and that pays for it for us. And then of course Prime charges us because we do have to pay our own tolls. And old school CB radio. The old days, 40, 50 years ago, these were on all the time, and this was pretty much the entertainment for most truckers. But now, if it comes to a standstill on a highway, we can listen in and inquire as to what's going on, so we'll know how to proceed, and maybe we need to inform Prime as to what's going on, what our delay is, so they can back us up if we're going to be late. So that's my side of the ship, and Mama going to tell you about her side.
Okay. So we're also going to share a few of our favorite things. So sitting here, so this is my view. This is where you see me taking some videos from. But one of my favorite things is up here. And this is just a little pen holder. I absolutely love these. I prefer the gel pens. We have blue and black, and then I use a pink for anything that I want to write down to make it pop. And then let me show you this. This, is a staple remover. This is one of my very favorite staple removers. You can get the claw kind, but I prefer this because it doesn't rip the paper as much when you go to rip out the staple when you have to send your documents in page by page. And then I love this little thing, this little strap here that holds this little notebook we use when we're fueling. It has our truck number, trailer number, and trip number, which you have to put in the gas pumps, fuel pumps as you're fueling. Then this is, oh my word, cannot do without this little shelf that comes out. This is where I work all day while he's driving, and I put the computer on here. Sometimes he'll eat up here while I'm still cooking mine, because we have to sometimes cook things separately. And then I call this my little office desk. I don't know, my little, I guess, drawer, extra drawer. But okay, when you open it's kind of messy, but we use a lot of paper clips. Here's a stapler. We've got just everything here. Some tape, some scissors, just different things. Oh, and a headlamp. I have to wear a headlamp. I prefer to wear a headlamp at night. Oh yeah. When we're sliding the tandems and it's dark, and so Emery stays in the front, and then I wear that so that I can see what pin that we're moving the tandems to. And now Emery just took out.
We came up with, we have, let's just say, a strong aviation presence in our family. One of our sons is a commercial pilot. I even took some flight lessons and learned quite a bit, but I learned that in aviation, whether you're flying a small plane like a Cessna 172 or something as big as a A380 or a 747, you've got checklists. And Sheila and I put together some checklists so we can go off of these when we pick up a load or drop a load, whether it's a drop and hook or a live unload or live load. We just go through this checklist and make sure that we have not forgotten anything, and sometimes we do.
Mm-hmm.
Anything from sending messages to Prime, sliding the tandems, removing locks off the trailer, opening doors, checking the right way, making sure the truck is balanced. We also have mileage chart, how many miles you can go and how many hours. It's pretty easy to remember. We also have a time zone chart. We stay primarily in the north central. That's our region. But these are just aids that we use so we don't forget something and screw something up.
Mm-hmm. And then we just stick them back there.
Because a lot of those items are safety items, and we don't want to forget any of them.
Mm-hmm. And here's another one of my favorite items that we keep down here. It's just a trash can. It's just a simple little trash can, but it comes in handy here in the front when we have snacks. Like if we just just any little kind of dry, nothing that has liquid.
Right.
It's just snack,
Wrappers.
yeah, candy bar wrappers and peanut butter cracker wrappers and just things like that. Here's our little Jesus. We keep him. We keep him with us.
I also need to show you an extension to Sheila's office operations.
Oh yes, we just got these, and I love
We
love
found
them.
these organizers
Seat back organizers.
at a Petro in Joplin, Missouri. And I've got my Atlas. I know that's old school, I'll explain it in a minute. She's got her papers, but we've got everything up here. Even our clock for the night.
Love that clock because it illuminates up here while we're sleeping and we can see it. I love that clock.
And other things over here, extra pins, cards, and this is our step ladder because we have our appliances up in the loft, in the bunk, and we put these towels over this so they don't rattle.
Don't rattle, but also my thing is I don't want them scraping against the plastic here, so we put these so it doesn't rattle.
And there's a hook here. We put our high-vis safety vests on.
Yes.
Those are required by most shippers and receivers. They won't even talk to you unless you have something like that on. Okay, what is your
let's show them the trash can down there. No, it's just a trash can. I get it, but we came up with the sides of putting these little hooks because the Walmart bags keep falling inside and it's a pain.
They fit perfectly.
And so we came up with these hooks, just the little command hooks on each side, and strap them, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So love that thing.
Right here is the inverter. That is hooked up in the truck by the factory, and it's a 2,000 watt inverter that allows us to run AC appliances from a DC current provider. So that's vital. We couldn't do anything without that. And it's an ordinary microwave.
And then we store some of our bowls and things that we take out if we cook, but we store them in there.
Now this is also vital. This is Ralph's primary tool. She loves this, as you can see. Ralph, you want that? She likes. No, not interested, huh? You're blowing the video, sweetie.
Like, I'm tired.
There you go. Whee!
I haven't slept enough today. I'm only slept 23 and a half hours today.
Right today. Okay, we're done.
And then there's some extra storage up there. Oh, see, and okay, yeah, you're about to see all of our extra food, but we had to throw some chips up there because there was nowhere else to put them. There's some extra storage containers that are collapsible. Those are really good because they're collapsible.
Yes.
And then some extra pop.
Now then, if you've ever seen a documentary or any information about submarines in the Navy, any Navy, but especially the United States, even the super subs of modern time, they will, before they put out to sea, because they're nuclear, they can stay out to sea for years, they put provisions, I mean, they cram every little nook and cranny full of provisions so they can stay out longer. That's what we have to do here because we take everything with us because we do not want to eat out and spend a ton of money. So
you're going to see a lot. You're going to see that we have a lot of food and things, but we're going to be out quite a long time this time before we go back out.
Oh, yeah, probably
go back
close
home.
3 months.
All right, so we've shown that. Here is the Thermo King, which is our...
We call it, it's
our
an APU. We call it a poo. So this is a climate control when the drive motor is not running because it has ordinary air conditioning and heat like any other automobile. But this operates the APU where we have heat and air when the drive motor is not running. This is how we heat and cool the sleeper area. And this is a clock radio, actually. And it has an alarm clock, but we prefer ours. And
these are all controls for the upper bunk that we don't use because we use that for storage.
Yep.
You'll see that in a little bit. This we use as our spice cabinet area, so it's just our salt and pepper, my little sweetener, Propel, and then we've got coffee, and we have some extra cups because we like to drink milk. And then just again, my measuring cups for when I do some cooking, just different things back there. We did forget to show our storage up here.
We've got a little speaker in case I want to jam out to some tunes on my iTunes. We also have a headset that I've had since the beginning, and I rarely use it, but sometimes I will. Still yet, this is what's called a permit book. This is required by DOT to be within my reach, sitting in my chair. And this has all of our permits, everything, even Sheila's permit to ride with me is all right in this book.
And then my side is kind of just the cleaning side.
This side, we have cleaning products because we keep a pretty tight ship. And
yeah, that's our speaker.
yeah, the speaker's over here. Oh,
Yeah, I moved
this is where we store the tripod.
we didn't use earlier.
That we're not using right now.
Okay, but we forgot that part. All right. So then we showed you, get my fingers out of the way. We showed you the spice cabinet. This is our silverware drawer. And then this area down here, this is where we keep our, this is a oven, toaster oven, and a air fryer. We keep, this comes in, it's another one of my favorite things. So this is just some where did we get this? Dollar Tree,
Dollar
maybe?
Tree. Yeah, well,
And we just keep our extra sauces in separate packets. So, we keep ketchup here, mustard and relish here, mayonnaise here, just different things. But it really holds well, and it just stays snapped. It's wonderful. We just store it right there. Then we keep our water down here. Oh, and my extra, that's where some extra Dr. Pepper Zero is.
we found them.
All right. And then,
Yeah, we even keep extra bottled water down here.
yeah.
We go through so we use that to
gallons.
make coffee and such, so we don't burn through our bottled water too fast.
Oh, you saw maybe where he put our Emery and Sheila back in the back of our bunk, but it didn't stick on that kind of material, but it does stick on this.
Yeah. Now this up here, I'll take this because I'm a little taller. We store soda pop, tea, her protein drinks, bread, everything. It's just a secure area, and I'll put this up here, you go, sweetheart, to kind of hold things in place, because a lot of times we end up on Interstate 70 through Indiana, which is the roughest road on the planet.
Yes, it is. Down here, this is a closet, but we made it into a pantry.
Yep, got all kinds of food in here, and plates,
Yes.
everything. This is smaller items that are lighter.
Yep.
Yep.
And then that's our little coffee kind of nook area.
Walmart bags.
Extra bags that we use for trash and just some extra things. And it has this little door. This is my little mouse pad.
Hello, mirror.
All right. And then we get to our bedding. We kind of have to shove everything down at the end. Do we have, let's see if we can name that. There's our Bibles. We just did our devotional before we
Yep, you did.
decided to do this. So we just got back from a shower and kind of just threw everything in there. But I think he's going to tell you about this Kelly Kay book
Yeah, we
for a
got
little bit.
Sheila's computer bag. She has both computers in there. I've got my overnight bag. I take into the bathroom, brush my teeth, whatever.
Extra
each morning.
blankets.
Yep, all this. This
That's
is
my bag.
There's a big empty space at the end of the bunk where we put things while we're running. We put a few bags up front in the passenger seat.
And this
At
is our
night.
wheel living blanket that we showed you before. Just love this thing. There's his Bible.
Man,
There's
it is warm.
my Bible.
And this is our devotional book. This is by Kelly Kay. I'm going to give a shout out to him.
Yes.
He is an unusual pastor, meaning his messages are extremely encouraging.
Yes.
And I would recommend any believer or non-believer to listen to him, listen to his sermons. They're 3-minute sermons or 4-minute sermons on TikTok. And this is one of the devotionals that our youngest daughter got for us. And we go through this every day together.
We've been watching him for a few years.
Yes, for quite a while. He is not your typical pastor. He's got piercings and tattoos, but an amazing pastor. There's not a theologian on the planet would find anything wrong with anything he preaches. Straight out of Scripture. I highly recommend him.
And the way he preaches, anyone
Yes.
can understand.
Yes, Kelly Kay Ministries. Look him up.
Yes.
It's really good. Highly recommend it.
Yes, love him.
Anyway,
And there's our bed and pillows. All right, so now let's see about up top.
before we go up there, underneath the bunk,
Oh, yeah.
there's a latch down here. I pull, and this entire bunk raises up, and we've got the size of the bunk this deep. I call it the basement. That I have access up here, and that side door on that side. You've seen me getting that before in another video. And a smaller side door over here on the passenger side have access to the entire area. We've got that stuffed full of everything from extra cat litter to oil, antifreeze, windshield washer fluid, all of my tools. I've got a charging station down there for all of our tools, the vacuum, spotlight, everything. It's all down there, but it's just too hard to show you right now.
Okay, so now we're going to show you this part that's next to the spice cabinet, the APU and everything. But this is, I don't know, sometimes they call it our nightstand, sometimes they call it our little kitchenette, just whatever, but move our drinks. So at nighttime, we set our clock here, but then this is also very handy. So I just put this acrylic piece that I got from Shein, actually. We put both of our glasses in these at night, so they're easy to find. And then behind this, have our phone chargers that go in it. Here are my earbuds. This is just some allergy medicine and some, what is that, potassium.
Supplements, yeah.
But I just love how this fits right here. We put this, we charge our phones at night here. It goes back there, and then I put my earbuds here. This is just really handy. And we didn't show these. This button is a door lock. So when you get ready to go to bed, you hit that, make sure all the doors are locked. And this, when I hit it, lights will go out back here.
That's the
back
sleeper
on.
lights.
Sleeper
And
lights.
this is actually a little night
Up
light.
here.
Right there.
Yeah, so if I turn this out, you can kind of see a little bit more.
Yep. It doesn't seem like much when the lights are on,
Oh, at night?
but at night it's actually pretty bright.
It is. So we just wanted to share that with you and show you that. There's lots of little fun things around here.
Oh, like we said before, we fill every nook and cranny with everything we need so we can do our job.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I love it. Just trying to get both of us in
Mm-hmm.
You really gotta love who you're with since you're this close.
This
In fact,
close.
let's see here. Let's see what happens if I stand all the way back here.
This is as
Can
far
you-
away as we can get. We can
touch.
still touch. So,
Oh, you really
There's-
gotta love who you're trucking with.
there's no escape. There just isn't any escape. So,
that's
anyway, which is
Alright.
wonderful. Up here, this is our dresser. Sheila has the 2 top drawers. I have the 2 bottom ones. We got this at Walmart. It's hardy enough. It holds together, and that's our dresser. We've got 2 refrigerators. We got these refrigerators at Lowe's. I think they're what, $250 a piece.
We got them for $199 on sale.
Yeah, on sale. It's got it's an ordinary refrigerator. It's got a freezer on top, fridge on the bottom, and they work really good.
And we started last year with just one, and then when we went home in December, we decided to get a second one.
Yes. Now this over here is another pantry. We've got more chips,
Mostly
But
canned foods.
canned foods. This is a pantry here. It's a smaller version of that.
Yeah. that's what it
And
was.
here we have our antenna for our Wi-Fi, which is buried in there.
Oh, T-Mobile Wi-Fi. Game changer,
Oh,
people.
it's
Oh, my.
amazing.
Yes, love it. There's our
And-
skillet.
Got a skillet, electric skillet. Here is
Just more chips.
just chips and a little bit of treats, candy. This is our snack bag.
Yes.
This goes up between our seats while I'm driving, so she doesn't have to get up because I don't want her out from behind the seatbelt while we're going.
Yeah. So it
This-
just has nuts
All
and
of it,
chips
yeah.
and
Ordinary toaster.
kinds of, yeah. Got our toaster. We use that a lot.
And we make up this jar of candy, little candy bars, but we've picked up and delivered at Hostess. And this last time we loaded up with, they gave them to us,
Yeah.
donuts and ding dongs.
I'll insert some pictures.
Very generous. I love delivering and picking up there,
Yes.
both places. Anyway, this
Oh, I
is
love this. There's another one of the things that I love, and now we've started cramming more things in it than just what it was made for.
Yeah.
But
yeah, another Kelly K book. But anyway,
yeah, volume 2. So these are the envelopes with the labels. These are ones that are new. Here's our trip sheets that Prime has us fill out with every load, and then these are the ones that we've done just in the week that we've been out. Today we've been out a week.
then we have more protein drinks. This is like our little bread box. And these 2 canvas cubes have cereal and crackers, just things we sometimes, when it's late at night before we go to bed, we'll just have a bowl of cereal rather than a heavy meal.
So eventually, these will be gone, or as we drink things from up here and up there, we'll move that out of the way. So at the beginning, it's a lot of moving back and forth when we get in the fridges, but eventually that'll go away, and then we'll just buy things at Walmart weekly or bi-weekly as the need arises.
Down here is a very important,
Well, we're not going to get too close in the show.
that is Ralph's cat box. That's her little area, along with her
Yes.
food and water.
Yeah.
In Peterbilt, this is where the factory refrigerator goes, but we didn't have that, so it's perfect for her box. We keep it clean, it's not smelly, and she loves it there. She works with
Yes.
that very easily.
Yeah.
Now then, I said I would share this with you. I've said in other videos that I am old school, and I am. However, just because something is old doesn't mean it doesn't work. I mean, do you have a radio in your car? Radios are
Really?
extremely old school, but they still have a place. Well, this is an Atlas, Motor Carriers Road Atlas, I use this constantly. This is Oklahoma.
Yay! Whoop whoop! Sooners!
Sooners. All of these highlighted roads are truck friendly. I can look at this atlas. If the GPS is telling me to go somewhere that I'm unfamiliar with, that is not an interstate, I get in this atlas and I look to see if that road, I find it and make sure that it is highlighted. If it's highlighted, I know that it is safe for trucks, meaning all the bridges are at least 13.6 tall, and there's no underweight bridges to where I could potentially collapse them, or certainly get a big fine if I go over it. So, love that. This lives right back here in our organizer, and you can see it's I wore out. We've only had it less than a year, so a new version comes out every year, and I keep it up to date. I've come up with a little pastime. Every time we go to a rest area in whatever state, and if they have them, I will get an old style fold-up road map. I love these things. Sheila absolutely hates maps and
Maps and
charts.
charts. I do not do the trip planning. I will get on Trucker Path and look for our truck stops where we're going to stay and if they have availability and whatnot. But do not hand me a map. That is his job.
I love these maps, and I've gotten half a dozen states now.
Yeah.
And who knows, I might actually have all 48 contiguous states one of these days.
Oh, I just noticed up there, that is a menu planning pad. What I like to do, instead of doing every day and what we're going to do for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I just write down all the different meals that we have, because it's easy to forget, you know, what's in here, what's up here, what's in there,
yeah, really.
what do we have everywhere. So that comes in handy.
And above the dresser and on top of the refrigerators, over on this side, there's extra storage. Like she's got an extra pair of shoes up there now, but throughout the winter, Sheila and I both have winter gear. Heavy Carhartt winter gear that's, I think it'll protect down to 20 below, because I like to be prepared. If I crack this thing up in the wintertime, the drive motor doesn't run anymore, the APU doesn't work, we don't have heat. So we've got the emergency gear, we've got an Arctic sleeping bag, the whole bit. So even hand warmers and electric socks, all of that. Now we've left all that at home now because obviously it's not winter anymore. But come November, December, we put them in those vacuum bags, and right up above there they go, and they're out of the way in case we need them.
And then also in between the dresser and the fridge, there's I don't know, a few things that we have stuck in there. I can't remember. And same thing over here and also on the edge. But one of the things stuck in there is our portable printer. I use that. Sometimes you just really need to print out something, and it really comes in handy.
Yes.
We have our cat crate. Just extra storage that you can just slide stuff in there that you don't use very often.
Yeah. And I've got the refrigerator strapped in with load straps, the ratchet straps. There's 2 of them across the top, and I've screwed eyelets into the wooden floor of this top bunk and ratchet them down tight, because the last thing we need is a 60 or 70 pound refrigerator coming out of there down into the work area. So that would be bad.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's our life inside our walk-in closet.
Yeah.
And we love it, and we're going to keep doing it as God blesses each day. He's with us all the time,
Yes.
every day, never leaves, never forsakes, and that's scripture. There's also, you can't even see it in this light, but there's a pull-down ladder that comes down like this. Now we use this along with our big old tall ladder that we've got, so Sheila can get to the top.
Yes, but also because this goes on this side, so if I sometimes needs to get something over on this side, you just need this
can't
extra
reach it.
ladder.
This is designed for a person to get up into his or her bunk if they sleep on the top. Since our shoes can get pretty dirty, we put a towel here just to protect the blanket and stuff from our dirty shoes, and we can crawl up here and reach pretty much anything.
Yeah.
We've got these hooks on the doors. These keep them closed while we're driving. And
I can't really open the fridge to show them, but
no, we got to move stuff to open the fridge.
Which we do, but yeah.
Anyway,
That's
this
great.
is really good. And this just clicks right back into place. That's it.
Ta-da!
Well, We also have a factory TV mount. It's right here. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black and it's dark, but the television goes here. We haven't, and the coaxial cable. We haven't put a TV in either one of our trucks yet because we simply don't watch TV. We play on our phone or whatever, but when we go back home and we're going to put a television, we already have one, Roku TV up here, and see if we can get some programming, because we do have time occasionally to watch. So, but that's the television mount, and this is actually factory.
And it'll fit up to 32-inch.
Up to a 32-inch television. Now this is where Ralph normally stays. When I'm not in the seat, she is. This is her chair. And you can see, she is in command. So this is what she likes to do every day. When we have our downtime, she just lives in this chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's her favorite place to be.
She loves her face rubs. So anyway,
Yes.
This is Commander Ralph.
Boop.
Lockstep, baby.
Lockstep.
Your shower is ready. Please proceed to shower water.
Back into Love's for one last bathroom break before we go retire in our cab for the night. We love Love's. Oh,
That's funny.
yes. He always opens the doors for me. Always, always, always. Such a gentleman.
On this side of the truck, we've got tools like inside my door. I've got a few things here. We use ordinary dishwashing liquid. I put it on the sponges and the big long holes and use it to wash the windshield. Also got my fuel gloves, very important, right there. Fire extinguisher, make sure it's fully charged, and it is. And just for your information, if you see a little green dot like that, that means that's where the fire extinguisher is. This is a DEF diesel exhaust fluid. This is a fuel emission control system, and we have to fill that with a liquid. It's kind of an ammonia-based liquid. It's called DEF. This is the side box I was telling you about. This is our blower, leaf blower. You've seen in another video. We use it quite a bit to blow out trailers. This is my little charging station. Got the vacuum, my light. There's drill back here. My tool bags are up here. Just a little bit of everything in here. It looks like it's crammed, but it is. There's a lot of stuff going on back here. Got fuel tanks. This is where we fill behind the side bearings. Load locks on both sides. We gain and lose load locks all the time. The air lines, this feeds the trailer with air for the brakes and the tire inflation system. This is a power cable. This is a reefer here, control panel, and then these buttons here I can program the temperature, also the setting, whether it's fresh meat or fresh produce or whatever. Also start, stop, or continuous.
These are the fender,
Yeah, this
quarter
is.
fender that he put on in the previous video.
These are new quarter fenders, and these are the little headers I put on. There's also a side box.
And we bought extra. We paid to have this.
We put this on,
Yeah.
and have a couple of tool bags in here, and underneath here is more oil and antifreeze, and windshield fluid, and towels, and just stuff I need easy access to. And the reason why you can see back here is I've got the load lights on with the switch on the dashboard. I flip those on so you can see back here better. I flip those on at night so I can see how to hook the trailer up.
Yeah.
So anyway, down here is the latch for the fifth wheel, and I always, whenever I hook a trailer up, I get down here with my spotlight and make sure the latch is closed. You can't really see it, but
Yeah.
the landing gear on the trailer, these have to go down if we ever pull out from under or unhook from the trailer.
Yeah.
This is the fuel gauge. We're about 5/8 of a tank. We'll fill that up tomorrow before we make this delivery. Make sure the tank is full for them. And we put the diesel in this right here because the reefer, let's show them the reefer. It's a big old unit. I showed you the controls, but that's the reefer unit. It can freeze down to 20 below. It can also heat up to 60. So there's a 4-cylinder diesel engine in there that heats and cools. It's very, very efficient. Really cool.
Oh, we're right next to another Prime. Look at that beautiful sunset.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to show you the back of the trailer now.
sure.
I hope you find this interesting. I found it very interesting watching these kind of videos before I came out on the road because I knew nothing about
And
trucking.
this, as I said earlier, about the right way on the tractor, that tells me how much weight is on the drive axles. This is the right way gauge for the trailer. It tells me how much it's inactive because there's no air to the trailer right now. But this is the gauge that I use to make sure the truck is balanced. Now what I mean by that, I don't want too much weight on one end or the other. I try to balance it out the best that I can. In order to stay DOT legal, there can't be any more than 34,000 gross pounds on either the front, the drive axles, or back here. Even if the whole thing is under 80,000 pounds, they could ticket me for having one end or the other overweight, over 34,000 pounds. So that's the whole point in doing this. We balance every trailer. We don't want too much weight on the trailer and the tractor to be light because then it just gets really squirrely on the highway and hard to handle. So I try to get more weight, either very well balanced or more weight on the tractor than the trailer. It's a lot more stable to drive, especially in a crosswind.
Yeah.
But this track down here, I don't know if you can see it in the dark. It is getting a little bit dark, but these holes right here, Sheila marked this one as 6, back here is 10. These pins, she pulls a button right here and those pins retract, and then I can drive the truck forward and back and slide these tandems
Yeah.
to distribute weight. Each one of these holes is worth about 400 pounds. I can move that much weight in the trailer to balance it out. That's how I do it. This is the other door, and I've got a unlock it like this, but in here I've got extra springs for the air hoses, rain suits, windshield wipers. Here is some Velcro straps I've got to tie things up, extra bungee cords. I even have a rope. This is a 100-foot nylon rope just for safety. I even have a tow strap. These things don't take up much room. They don't have a lot of weight, and I'll probably never use them. But someday I might. It could even save a life.
And when we go home, we're gonna have the graphics put on with our company name and logo right there.
Yep, we'll show you that when that happens.
Yeah.
This is the APU. I hope you can see that in the dark.
Yeah.
This also has a little diesel engine in it, and this is what, I showed you the panel inside, this is what runs to give us air conditioning and heat whenever we need it in the sleeper. It'll also charge the drive batteries whenever the drive motor is off. These long skirts down here, these black plastic skirts on both sides of the trailer running full length, those are aerodynamic skirts. They help keep airflow from under the trailer, which causes turbulence and drag. And it doesn't save a ton of fuel, but over time it saves quite a bit.
This truck has white skirts. Ours is
Anything to
black.
reduce drag, which reduces fuel cost. This is pretty solid here. This is the back, obviously. We're required to put this lock on. This is an Abloy lock, extremely strong. This is the seal put on from the shipper, which cannot be broken. This is one of the things I inspect every morning before we leave. Make sure that it has not been tampered with. If it is, I have to call Prime. And then we put an extra lock on here, so it's pretty secure.
Yeah.
And got four hooks. I got to make sure those are all hooked whenever I lock it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there it is.
All right, here I want to show you. This is a panel. These side fairings, all 4 side fairings come down. There's clips here. If I can find them, there we go. The batteries, this is a battery box. There's 4 large batteries in here that operate the whole thing, and that's what obviously I start the engine with. And if you zoom down here, these little cables right here are hooked to the air tanks. There's 2 air tanks. It's a redundant system, and that is what that's what supplies the air brakes and the suspension system with air. There's an air compressor that's directly bolted to the engine that compresses these tanks. Every so often, about once a week, I come out here all weather and pull on these. And what that will do is, because air tanks condensate, they get filled with water, and I got to drain that. Okay. Then I close this up. That's also steps to get in.
Yes, and he added these step mats so that when it's bad weather or we're out in gravel, just anything nasty, we can brush our shoes off on that, and we don't have to.
Climb up on here. Wipe our feet on.
Yeah, like that.
Before we get inside. Try
Yep.
to keep the inside as clean as possible.
Yes, that helps reduce
Oh, yeah.
grit and grind.
And stress.
And stress.
Keep it as clean as we can.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us on our truck tour.
Yep, we've enjoyed it. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.